changes in my community transform. The changes in my life transform my community. All started when I was a child. My nervousness and my shyness didn't allow me to go forward. And that was because students at school were made fun of the way I spoke. My fathers were so proud of myself. But one day, at the age of 13, my father decided to start a new family. And those moments marked my life. My mother immigrated to the United States by herself to work and send money back to us. I was left with my 5 younger siblings and a small shoe business from my mom. I got married and graduated from technical school at the age of 17. Like my mother before us, my siblings, my husband and I immigrate to the United States. We decide to immigrate to the United States to look for safe and better life. While we settled in the United States, I was my first daughter born, and I was working 16 hours a day. The work was tough, but I did it because I want to get ahead in life. We moved to Minnesota in 2001, and the work was okay here. We were constantly discriminated against in the stores, in the roads, in the schools, in government agencies, and other places. That happened to other immigrants I knew. So we were not able to report to the authorities because we were feeling afraid of the retaliation, because that hurts, the retaliations that our immigrants were crossing through were hurt. I just was dreaming. When I was in Mexico, I said, in myself, I was thinking, while I was in Mexico as a teenager, I said, I never going to be a leader. I was not dreaming to be a leader or do this work. But constantly, there were things in my mind. And I decided to go to a meeting. I heard that there will be a meeting in St. Cloud for immigrants, and I went to the meeting. And I thought, when I went to the meeting it was in English, and I was not able to understand anything about this meeting. So what I did is just go out and start by myself to meet new people and have conversations with them and just talk to them person to person and ask them why they came to the United States, what they brought them to the United States, what they want for themselves, what they want for their future. And I find out that these people who were just like me has challenges, dreams, and needs. Then I start to look for resources or see how I can help. I was in the same situation, but I start to look for those resources to have leadership trainings. I take leadership trainings here in Minnesota and in other states. And I was trying to look the best I can to bring my community together. I did meetings with them. I was talking a lot with them until I said I was thinking like this is not good. This is what is happening is not good. So then after that, after all the work I was doing volunteer work while I was working as a full-time and as a housekeeping in a hotel. Then after hard work, community building, tenacity and tears, Latinx lead not-for-profit was born. Fe y Justicia. Fe y Justicia is an organization where we try to build community with respect and dignity. This organization is based on faith, and we work for the dignity and the respect of all the immigrant community, all the Latino immigrant community. The organization doesn't all human is welcome. Like, it doesn't matter about the religion, the immigration status, the gender, the identity. It doesn't matter because we know what is feeling to be racism. So our organization, what it does is start by having immigration clinics with partners, with lawyer partners that come and do the appointments by free, and starting to do some file asylums, others file Visa U, others file Visa T, others file citizenship when they already have the green card, other files petition family petitions. So these are other jobs that we do. We also do healthcare clinics. These healthcare clinics, because we were lacking, the jobs doesn't offer healthcare for people that work in a small business, and they are not allowed to pay, doesn't have enough money to pay the insurance. What we did, we know that this job was so needed, and we knocked doors and no one was able to help us. But after having these conversations one-to-ones, we spoke with doctors, nurses, interpreters, social workers, and they were able to volunteer their time to do these clinics. And we start to do these clinics because our community were suffering. We have some people that die in our community because they were living here for many years and don't see a doctor because they were working so hard. So we start these clinics. We have 2 clinics in central Minnesota, and through these clinics, we were able to do advocacy for ourselves, doing political things and do leadership training in our community. We got all together with another organization. We asked some of the representatives, like Representative Livlin and Wicklang, to file this bill, and we went to speak with representatives. Like the community member, they talk to the representatives, and they say their own stories. They said to the legislators, like, we work 16 hours a week, 16 hours a day, say 6 days a week, and we are not able to pay insurance. So they said that they were like, they want to have insurance because they said, like, our kids are gonna suffer if we don't care ourselves. If we die, who's gonna take care of them? So everything that was happening, it was so hard for our community. Last year, we were able to pass health care for all. That will include immigrants that didn't have health care, and this will go through all the process, all the requirements depend on their income. And that law passed on May 2023, and this law will be into effect in January 2025. This is one of our big accomplishments in Fe Justicia. Another thing that we did locally here in the area was police agreements. Since our community were feeling afraid, and they were feeling like they were not able to talk to the police. It took those years. We were like talking to the police, advocating with our leaders, and trying to speak with the police to make sure we do something. So it was, our community were so afraid to report things when they were victims of something, victims of crime. They were afraid to report it. So what we did, we started to be talking with the sheriff, having relationship with the sheriff, and we agreed to sign up an agreement. That took about 2 years. Every month we were meeting, and we were having like conversations, sharing stories, the stories of the people to them, why they were afraid. And we signed up an agreement here in Stearns County. This agreement involved responsibilities and awareness between the community and the sheriff. So that is what we have been doing here in our community. Our community now feel better to go and report something to the police, because we did not just this agreement, but agreements with the police too, Cold Spring, South Center, and St. Cloud. We were part of the St. Cloud agreement. So those things the things that we have been doing, I want to say that I never thought I can do this. I never thought I can advocate for my community, and I never thought I can educate my community to not be afraid like I was. I never thought I can do this. Leadership is hard. It's so hard that in some moments I feel like I'm going to fail and I cannot keep going. But praying to God and keep praying to God and singing to God, that gives me the strength to keep going. I feel like if I don't act, if I don't do the things I know is happening to me and to my community, there will be no one to know and to support or do something too. So I feel like I need to act in a way to have results. So I encourage you to support others, to help others in a way that they encouraging, because if we don't do by ourselves, no one else will know about this. So we gotta speak up. We gotta share our testimonies. We gotta do all we can to make sure people know what is going on. At Fe Justicia, we haven't achieved a lot. We haven't doing a lot of progress in the area. But there is a lot more to do. And especially in our community, our leaders in our community, our members in our community are being able to not feel so fear, and they can act and they can do some changes. And these changes transform our community, our society, and it's been like those changes are been changing our lives. At Fe Justicia, we feel like we are transforming our community. Thank you.